It's showtime, folks. Welcome in. Chasing Big Joe. Tuesday edition, 1025, 1063 The Game. He is Big Joe. I'm Chase McCabe. Dr. Crane, Nick Frazier on the ones and twos. What's up, JoJo?
Deep breath, buddy.
I'm
Deep
good,
breath.
Traffic got me a little bit this morning.
Good morning, everybody.
But you know what? As they say, on time is game time.
Who is they?
I don't know.
Is that Nick Keiser says that?
No, he doesn't.
Okay. Welcome in.
He says go Preds.
He does. It's Tuesday. Good seeing you yesterday. You know, yesterday we were at the Preds golf tournament, and we sat around for an hour with Barry Trotz.
Yeah, I know. He held court, and it was awesome.
I mean, just to take a line from Step Brothers, the movie, just the stories.
Oh, it was awesome.
The stories.
We did. Like, it was funny. I had this plan, like I was going to be there for a little bit, kind of, shake hands, all those things, and then leave. And you and I were sitting down. Pete Weber sat down with us. And then here comes Trotzy, and he's like, I'm going to sit with you guys.
Yeah.
And we're like, okay.
It was great. I think he appreciated we didn't talk hockey. Hey, what about
he told us, the stand, like when he got the cup and everything with Washington, and that was really cool. But
right.
We just kind of, shot the breeze.
It was great, man. So a good time.
Good to see him. I got to do that a little bit in the afternoon with Andrew Brunette, caught up with him, Roman Yossi, Sean Henry. So it was good to see everybody at the Brent Peterson golf tournament yesterday, and hockey's here.
And you left out one guy. You pointed him out on air yesterday, but
Bob. I did talk to Bob.
I did.
I went and talked to him after the show. I said, "Yeah, we brought you up on the show today." And he goes, "You tell Big Joe." I said,
and he's like, "See that Land Cruiser over there? paid for." We're gonna get to it. I really like your question of the day.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get to that.
I really like it.
Can I rant on something real quick?
Yes.
And then we get to the question.
Yes.
So I want to know if I'm out of bounds, or if this is like a thing that other people notice. So we have our parking lot out here, right? There are no assigned parking places. There never have been. That's not a thing. However, it just kind of over the years, people kind of had their spots. And for 10 years, I've kind of had my spot. Well, I've noticed recently that everybody starts parking over there.
Okay.
And therefore, somebody has been parking in my spot. And again, we don't have assigned spots, so I can't really be that mad about it. But I'm just wondering if other people go through that too, of you just kind of get in a habit. It's more of a habit. It's just and there are other people here too that they kind of park in there. You kind of have one, you have your little spot that you go to. But I've noticed there's been an influx of people, and Dr. Crane, you're one of them.
I am
coming down towards the other end of the building, and all of a sudden, it's changed everything up. I'm thinking after 10 years, I might have to find a new spot.
Not at all. First of all,
may I clarify something?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Yes.
I recognize that there are people that have been here longer than I have. So I did the leisurely of not taking those spots. But yes, I did go to the other side because my spot was taken over here.
Yeah.
Now, you told me you took that spot because there was a hornet's nest.
Well, that too, yes.
Up the stairs.
But also when,
you were scared.
the attachment of Totally Hits, Totally Nashville took into place, those spots.
Oh, so
somehow.
Let's name. So this is Woody and Jim's fault.
I'm not going to name names, but sure, if you want to say that.
That's what I mean. You're right. All this changed when Woody and Jim came here.
But your spot was taken over by the hardest working salesperson in Nashville, Les.
Yes.
Who works
which is fine.
80 hours a
day.
Again,
this is not, I'm not mad. It's more of I've noticed it.
It's a preference.
It's a preference. I moved one spot over. I'm fine. It is what it is.
Thought you can say it's an annoyance, but it's not. Okay, I get you.
It's a minor inconvenience.
Yeah, but also
not really. But
Nick Keiser and Dr. Crane have kind of moved down to that side too.
Okay, so now I am curious of that. I don't know if Keiser's back. I don't see him.
No, he's not here.
So Keiser did move, and I know why Keiser moved, because a lot of times the morning guys were parking in front of our promotions office, which we kind of keep two spots open for guests. And I have a feeling somebody said something like, "Hey, stop parking in the visitor parking," and made them move down. So again, all the moving down has shifted everything.
Okay. All right. We're good.
And not as many people are parking on the other side of the building. So
okay. All right.
If it helps, I'll park right down the middle.
Why don't you park in the studio tomorrow? That'd be better.
I think we'd have a lawsuit on our
I
hands,
just
Jim.
I got a text. It's 100% Woody and Jim. So again, we're gonna blame Woody and Jim.
Might as well. I mean, for a year they did nothing, and now they're coming over and
They
taking
just
over.
come over here and take
Yeah.
our parking spot.
Oh, okay, I
All
got
right.
that. Well done.
We do have a fun show planned. We're gonna continue reaction on the Titans' loss. Do you feel any different than you did yesterday? My guess is no. Jared has called Peter Skoronski Bigfoot, so that's a thing now. So we'll probably have to address that. Plus, we didn't really get to talk college football.
Go back.
So we'll get into that.
Bigfoot. Why?
His analysis yesterday was Peter Skoronski has really big feet and he can't move them.
Okay.
That's where we're at now.
All right.
Yeah.
I mean, he was bad on Sunday.
Yeah, it was not good.
Okay.
Yeah, my I think I was so focused on Levis that I gave the offensive line a little bit too much of a pass. But after going back and I kind of rewatched some of the game, yeah, they were pretty bad.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. I mean,
And-
like, there are things that I think they can improve on and work on. Like, I'm not ready to say it's the end of the world, but I do have some concerns about Skoronski. Like, you did spend, like, I'm not going to be like Jared and be like, guard, like, but you did spend the 11th overall pick on a guard.
you did.
So you kind of need that to pan out.
Yeah, you absolutely needed to pan out. So
So-
we'll see. And it's the Elimination Bowl on Sunday between the Jets and the Titans. They looked terrible last night. They lost. Now they come to Nashville on Sunday, and the loser goes to 0-2, and your playoff hopes are vastly diminished.
You can weigh in 615-737-1025, our phone and text line. Driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. 0247 says, I'm an ass. If no assigned parking, I'm parking where I want. It's fine. That's fine. I mean, it just the habit has broken because there are new people here, and that's fine. All right, let's get to our question of the day. You ready for this?
I love it.
I literally thought about this on my way in.
Okay.
So I don't know about you, but like, you know, if I'm in a certain kind of mood, like I go through moods, like I'm going to listen to a certain kind of music, right? So our question of the day is, what is on Will Levis's playlist this week?
Yes.
And we will play some of the songs that you all tell us.
I love it.
615-737-1025. What do you think is on Will Levis's playlist this week?
Here is Will Levis's song to Titans fans.
I'm sorry, so sorry that I was such a fool.
Oh, rings true.
I didn't know
To throw that pass.
love could be so cruel.
All right. Thank you.
Oh, that's good.
Nashville, and it's Nashville's very own Brenda Lee, bringing it in right there. So, yeah, I love it. So, what's on Will Levis's playlist?
Yeah. 615-737-1025. I have a feeling this could be funny. What is on Will Levis's playlist? Are there songs about mayonnaise?
Oh, I'm sure there are somewhere out there. Oh, my goodness, man.
All right, they're already rolling in. Oh, they are rolling in. Here we go. Dustin in Hopkinsville, Kentucky. Baby, come back. You can blame it all on me.
Yes.
4073. Will Levis definitely spent his Sunday night crying in the shower listening to Marvin's Room by Drake. I don't know that song,
me,
but
me neither, but it sounds funny.
Marlon says Crazy by Willie Nelson.
Oh, that's a great one.
Yeah.
Yes.
3334 Patience by Guns N' Roses. Oh, people are calling. Oh, this is even better.
Yes.
615-737-1025. John P says Donka Showan by Wayne Newton.
Donkashay.
Donka Shay. Okay,
Yeah.
I don't know that one.
Yeah, it's what Ferris Bueller sings in the parade.
Oh, gotcha.
Donkashay.
Lonesome Loser says another one bites the dust.
Yeah, it's good. Keep
Um,
coming.
3517. It's just one of those days, or Break Stuff by Limp Bizkit. That's a good one. 7655 Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
I don't get that,
I don't either, but
but keep
whatever.
them coming.
Wes in Clarksville. Bad Blood by Taylor Swift. Oh
Right.
man, they're rolling in. All right, let's go to the phones. Philly Mike is up first. Philly Mike, what's on Will Levis's playlist?
Hey, what's going on, guys? How you doing today, man?
Doing great.
Good, good. Santa's coming to town. That was a definite Christmas gift early in the season. So that one has to be on his playlist, man. And you guys do a great job. And watch my Eagles this year, and I'll be watching your Cowboys, buddy. Take care, man.
Sounds good. Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it. Yeah,
That's a pretty good one.
yeah, that's a good one.
That was a Christmas gift.
Jason, what's on Will Levis's playlist?
How's about Loser by Beck?
that's a classic. That's an easy one. Thanks, Jason.
Oh,
Appreciate it.
yes.
In there, there's a couple of different versions. Like, didn't Three Doors Down do a song called "Loser"? Obviously, a different song, but
I don't remember,
I
but
think they did.
Go crazy with the Cheese Whiz. That's a good one.
Yeah,
You guys are. I mean, our audience is fantastic with these creative gifts you guys send us.
well, it was one of those things that I got in my car and I realized I had a playlist going, and that's when it hit me like, oh, this could be fun. Let's do that. And I texted you, and you were just like, yes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, fantastic.
So 615-737-1025. We'll get to some of these. We'll also react to some things with the game and much more. This show for you today, the People's Show. It is Chasing Big Joe, 1025, 106.3 The Game.
Backtracking on these few years, trying to figure out what I do to make it go back. Cause ever since my girl left me, my whole life came crashing and I'm so lonely. Mr. Lonely.
Chasing Big Joe, 1025, 1063 The Game. Having a little fun on this Tuesday. All right, so which one? I know this, but what's the name of it?
Lonely by Akon.
Okay, yeah. All right.
It's a 2000s classic.
Yeah, that is a classic. The question of the day, and you guys are fantastic. I mean, our text line is blowing up. People have been calling in. What's on Will Levis's playlist this week?
It's great.
After the loss,
It's
you
fantastic.
know, what's he listening to? You know, have some fun, be creative. That's what we're looking for. We'll do this throughout the show. 0365 nah hey goodbye. What is the actual name of that song?
I think it's Goodbye.
Is it
isn't
Goodbye?
Yeah. I think.
Mike on Kentucky Lake says I'm a Loser by the Beatles.
Oh, ouch.
Patrick, instead of help me Rhonda, help me Callie.
Can
me,
Callie
Rhonda's a good
help
one.
him on this? I don't know.
Rick in Brentwood, Think by Aretha Franklin.
You better think.
Let's see.
We've gotten so many. We could probably do the entire show reading off these.
Steven from Hendersonville, on Will Levis's playlist, Stuart Smalley repeatedly saying, "You're good enough, you're smart enough, doggone it, and people like you."
That's a great SNL skit.
That is a great one. Donovan and Franklin, I want you back. Michael Jackson, oh baby, give me one more chance. Is that the Jackson 5? I think that is the Jackson
yes.
5. Dylan, my man was curled up listening to Lonely by Akon, so we just got that. David in Arkansas, every rose has its thorn.
Oh,
That's a good one. 1936 Bartender by Rehab. I know Hey Bartender. I don't know if I know that one.
Our good friend Jeff Eastlick says, "Wasn't Me" by Shaggy. Thank you, Jeff.
Oh, that's a good one. How is the councilman doing?
He's doing well. A lot of
Um,
respect on that. We talked to him.
Let's see. We got, of course, we got our texter that's not even listening and just texting random stuff. Only the 4878, Only the Lonely by Roy Orbison.
That's a great song.
Ken, I Did It My Way. They put Elvis. I actually think that's Sinatra.
It's both.
Oh, did Elvis
Yeah,
do it?
Sinatra
Oh, Elvis
did it.
did it. You're right,
Yeah.
right. Ron says Simple Man by Leonard Skinner. Man, these keep jumping around. 2758. There's a tear in my beer. Play that next. Play the Hank Jr. and Hank Sr. version. Like, that's awesome.
Oh, that's a great one.
Mike in Lebanon, Lonesome Loser. Who did that? I know the song.
Little River Band.
Yeah.
Yes.
6166, Hit the Road, Jack. Don't you come back no more.
Oh, Ray Charles. That's a great one.
Rebecca, Dirks Bentley. What was I thinking?
That's his first. Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
song.
2861. It's me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me. Taylor Swift.
By the way, didn't you go to the Dirks Bentley concert?
I did.
How was it?
It was great. Really good.
Okay.
He has an awesome band. They ended the show. He has this song. I guess he has a song called Hot Country Nights.
Yeah, they're like a cover 90s band.
Yeah. So they came out at the end and did that and then just played like a medley of 90s country.
Oh, that's cool.
And it was awesome.
Oh, that's very cool.
Yeah. So
yes.
And then the Preds came up on stage with him, and that was really neat. So Mike, I get the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
What is it?
Mason Rudolph.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Michael and Madison, it's Rudolph for Mason Rudolph. Also, The Sound of Silence by Simon and Garfunkel. Hello, Darkness, my old friend. I think that's what Titans fans are listening to.
Probably.
I think that's probably it. 0217. Okay, you sent me a link. I can't look at that right now. The End by The Doors. Lenny says that. This is the end.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Beautiful friend. Yeah, that one. Sorry for my singing. Nat says, just tuned in. So sorry it's been said already, but I got to go with Give It Away by the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
It's funny. It's just one play.
I know.
One play.
What
Will.
did the morning show they came up with the name for it? The Flick 6.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. or the flip 6,
or the Mayo mishap.
the Mayo mishap. That's
The
good.
Flick 6 is great. There's no way those two boneheads were that
No, I think it
creative.
was a text.
Okay, good. I was about to say Robbie, maybe Joe. No,
Graham said Limp Bizkit breaks stuff because he's so pissed off for losing the game and all the trash talk he got. I hope he's pissed off.
yeah.
Jeff, Don't Ask Me Why by Billy Joel.
You're real quick. Captain Touchback on Twitter loves your unassigned parking. He said it's like your spot at church. It's not reserved, but everybody knows you don't belong
Yeah.
there.
By the way, I let Woody and Jim know we're coming for him. So
Okay.
and they're prepared for a parking lot brawl.
I'm with
So-
Chase on this, by the way, because if he didn't say anything, then everybody didn't have the corrected spot.
Yeah,
But no.
that's fine.
I'm kind of. I love you two, but they get here awfully early.
Oh, that's true.
That's
First
fine.
come, first serve.
That's fine.
But I mean, we could sell.
What
this-
would you do if I just like one day put a sign up that says reserved for the suit?
I'd laugh. The fact you actually took time to go out and wrote a sign and put it up there, I was like, all right.
I would do that. Robbie says Miracle Flip. That was Rex Rhodes.
Miracle. Okay.
Miracle Whip. Mayo. Miracle
What's the
Flip.
miracle?
Well, it wasn't. I mean, for Chicago, it was a miracle.
Yeah. Okay. I'll give Joe an A for effort.
It's obvious. Smashing Pumpkins mayonnaise. Did they have a song called Mayonnaise?
You're the
Did-
Smashing Pumpkins fan.
Tim from Lobelville, Shake It Off by Taylor Swift. Yeah, that's definitely on there. Travis has several. Oops, I Did It Again. Photograph by Nickelback with him and the Surrender Python. Dreams by Fleetwood Mac. And then Do You Believe in Magic by the Loving Spoonfuls. I can go for days.
Man, that's on and on and on and on. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. 0247, Got Me Under Pressure, ZZ Top, Come Sail Away by Styx, In Your Wildest Dreams, Moody Blues.
Got me. That must be somebody our age. Got Me Under Pressure is a good one.
Yeah. Dustin and Hopkinsville, Thinking About Me, Morgan Wallen, Don't Know Where You At, Don't Know Where You Been, Nothing About That. Boy, you're into that boy being Rudolph. He's putting the
You read that like the Olsen twins
I
on
really
Full
tried.
House.
Al, I Got Knocked Down by Chumbawamba.
That's a good one. Yes.
Rick and Brentwood, Here I Go Again, White Snake.
Go back and read that one again.
I don't want
I'm
to.
kidding.
Weston Hermitage, Confessions by Usher. Oh man.
He's gonna ride throughout the day, man.
8044, I Had Some Help, Post Malone.
Well, did he?
I don't know.
That's a good song. I had some help.
Let's see. Doug and Gallatin, Help by the Beatles, Curb Your Enthusiasm theme, and Whiskey Glasses by Morgan Wallen.
Curb Your Enthusiasm
yeah.
theme is
That's a good one.
that is really well. That's one that you could do over and over and over again.
Yeah. I will go ahead and mention this. So the Monday night game last night, Dylan says, we need to give a huge shout out to Mason, the 49ers running back, who went to Gallatin High School here and was undrafted free agent. He ran for 100+ yards last night and absolutely carried them to victory. Jordan Mason looked great last night. That was awesome.
Yeah, 147 yards. Just kind of picked up where McCaffrey was and went in, and they didn't know about McCaffrey being out. I was listening to Debo Samuel last night. They didn't know till like early yesterday morning that he was going to be out, and they were like, all right, next man up, Jordan Mason.
Yeah, so there was this thing too that I guess he was asked on the field when he knew he was going to start. And obviously he was in the moment and he said Friday. And then Shanahan said, no, I told him to be ready on Friday. And so then he goes and Jordan Mason does the press conference, and the media just starts beating him up about lying, essentially, and saying, like, you said Friday, but he said, and he's like, man, this is why I don't like doing this stuff. Like, because, you know, you're like, I'm having a great night. It's a great moment. And it's like, he was in the moment. He misspoke. Like, I'm sure Shanahan said, hey, you need to be ready. On Friday, it's probably like, you need to be ready just in case.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's fine. Like, why do we got to make this such a thing?
Because these reporters, air quote, from blogs, you know what I'm talking about, try to be cool and go viral. And that's the problem now with a lot of reporters. You got guys like Paul and Rex Road and Gentry who are good reporters, and they're not trying to go viral. But these other guys, boneheads, are trying to go viral with every single question.
Yeah, I mean, but just let the kid have his moment.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, you know, I mean, he misspoke. Okay, whatever. I mean, that's how I understand it. But he was awesome last night. Speaking of, and we will continue to take. I mean, I could read these for 4 hours. Our question of the day: what is on Will Levis's playlist this week? We'll continue to take those.
And I got something for you. There's a problem in the National Football League right now.
Okay.
It's a big problem, and I don't see it getting better. And I want to get your opinion on this.
We will talk about that coming up next. It is the Chase and Big Joe Show. We're broadcasting from the Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Game Nashville Studios, home of the $99 yearly Beehive membership, where the buzz is always about great service. What is on Will Levis's playlist? Little Hank Sr., Hank Jr. there. Hank Sr. did it originally, obviously. That's
a
one that
great
has gotten a
song.
vote. 615-737-1025. You can continue to weigh in on that on our phone and text line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. What is on Will Levis's playlist?
I love it. I mean, the responses are fantastic.
They're good. All right, what is wrong with the NFL? You said there is a problem in the NFL, and it's a big one.
So I was watching all weekend, and you know, you kind of take mental notes. I'm driving home last night. I'm listening to Kurt Warner after the game, and he echoed. It's like he was reading my mind. He said there is a quarterback problem in the National Football League. He goes, he doesn't recall quarterbacks overall being this bad. And if you go down and look at it, Chase, there are some really bad quarterbacks in the National Football League. Now, he said a lot of them are young. He goes, I get that. He goes, but, you know, throughout history, you know, Elway, Marino, and guys like that, Montana, they were good out of the gate. You know, it's like he was talking about Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy, nobody's radar when he got drafted. He goes, he just got it. You know, you get it. He goes, but overall, there is a quarterback problem in the National. And you look at Levis and Caleb Williams on terrible. I mean, overall, stat-wise, terrible. Bryce Young, bad. Jaden Daniels in Washington, bad. I mean, it's just
Levis.
On and on and on. I mean, so there is, and he said, look, I get it, they're young. He goes, but there is a problem in the National Football League that he's not sure it's going to get better over time. And that's why you look at the Mahomes and the Josh Allen and the Brock Purdy's, and Dak looked great on Sunday versus the Browns. He looked really good, man. I know you and him aren't talking right now. So
we've made up. He signed his contract.
I get it, but overall, I mean, am I missing something here?
No, I'll tell you what it is. I'll tell you who I blame. And we had a little bit of a conversation about this yesterday in our talking to people off the air. The problem is the coaches. The coaches are so damn paranoid about getting somebody hurt that they're not using the preseason. And, you know, now Levis did get some time in the preseason, but not a lot. You know, Caleb Williams barely played in the preseason.
Yep.
You know, they want to sit these guys out. Whereas, like, you look at, so basketball has some preseason games. Hockey does. What do? They play them. They don't play every game.
Yeah. You're right.
They may not play the whole game, but they play them. And so that's, to me, like, I thought Sunday, from a just watching the game, the product standpoint, was the worst product I've seen in a long time.
It was
it was awful.
Yep.
It was sloppy. Now, you can sit here and the other thing is they don't practice them either. Like, you know, like you watch college football and it's not great the first couple of weeks. Like but it's better than the NFL. You know why? Because these guys are actually out there practicing. They're not being coddled and just like, hey, you know, you just stand on the sideline and watch.
I agree. Yep.
And so that's the problem. And it's like, you know, somebody asked me, do you think they should go back to 4 preseason games? I'm like, no, but they should actually play them. Like, you know who, and they didn't look pristine like they will, but you know who didn't look half bad was Mahomes. Guess why? He played.
Yeah.
And he plays his players.
That's a good point. I think now you see this. I think they need to play all the preseason games and play a lot.
Yeah.
Just play a lot. You get hurt.
At least give them, like, it's football. It happens.
Mm-hmm.
But at least give them a full game. Like, I think like if you're going to do this three preseason game setup, let them play the middle game. The third game, you could, whatever. I don't care. But, like, give them a game just to get into the rhythm, get on the, because, you know, the biggest problem, one of the biggest problems, there was several problems, but one of the biggest problems with the Titans was, like, you watch Levis and Calvin Ridley, their timing was off. They have no timing. Like, they're not on the same page right now.
Aren't. You're right.
And, like, that should be a very big concern to people.
The ESPN's released their rankings, and I'm going to go from bottom up real quick. I'm not going to bore you with all the teams throughout, but you know who comes in at 32, right?
The Carolina Panthers.
I mean, they are. I'm telling you. No, I'm not telling you this because it'll never happen. But they'd beat college teams, but boy, it'd be close. I mean, they're bad.
So my dad, when I was young, Vanderbilt had started off like 0-4 or something like that. And he goes, son, if you remain a fan, you're going to learn the phrase, well, it's always next year. Carolina's already saying that after 1 year.
Yeah.
Now, Vandy's changed, but that was the joke that he used to make.
Yeah, I used to argue with people all the time who'd be like, well, Alabama could beat Carolina. The Panthers would beat Alabama 45-0. But your dad was right.
Right.
So Carolina's at 32-31, New York Giants. 30th, the Broncos.
Okay.
29th, the Commanders. 28th, the Raiders. And 27, your Tennessee Titans.
About right.
That's exactly right. So they are, I mean, you're in bottom third, man, and it's heck the bottom fourth. It's bad. I just don't. Again, in this game on Sunday with the Jets, I mean, it's do you want to go 0-2? I mean, do you want? And then you get Malik Willis probably rolling in here next week. You imagine losing to him?
Oh, I know.
Going 0-3.
Well, okay. So here's my thing. The Jets looked pretty bad last night.
Yep.
I mean, Rodgers got benched. Like
looked very
at the and then the offense. Did he get benched or get hurt? Like I missed that.
I think they just set him down.
Yeah, I think because it was such a deficit.
Yeah.
Like, there's no point putting him in.
And then Tyrod Taylor comes in and marches right down the field.
He's always done that,
I know,
though, man.
but
That's crazy.
But my thing is, you know, is Rodgers? Are they going to be pissed off? Are they going to be on the same page? Are they going to be more on, you know, pristine? Or because that defense didn't look good, and that defense should be good. Like the defense is, I mean, they're obviously missing Hassan Reddick, but like they should be better. Or are you going to have two bad teams playing each other next week? I don't really know the answer to that yet.
Isn't that great game too? We're like this two bad teams sitting there. I look, man, you got to win. You got to win this game. You got to at least stay competitive and be 1-1, 0-2. And we brought this up yesterday, and it's been brought up every single year. Teams that start 0-2, the chance to make the playoffs were like 15%. And now it's up a little bit more because you got 17 games. But I mean, you're 0-2. So you get two home games, kind of turn it around and get it done. And thankfully, the Jets are a team that's coming in here. I was reading where they didn't arrive back in New York City till like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. And then Kurt Warner was kidding. He's like, half the guys will take their kids to school and won't get much rest. And then back to the facility on Wednesday, you're kind of in a funk. And now you got Thursday, Friday, and you got to travel again on Saturday.
Yeah.
So it helps the Titans in preparation because the Jets are going to be a little bit behind the 8 ball. But you still got to go out on Sunday and make it happen, man. And are the Jets want to go 0-2? They don't.
Well, and they can't go on 0-2.
It's just, man, it's something now with this football team. And, you know, Titans fans, y'all are used to this getting behind, starting out, and like, we got to win the next game. I mean, like last year versus the Saints, probably should have won that game.
Yeah.
Tannehill was bad in that game.
Tannehill was bad.
Probably should have won that game, but that's that last year. Now you got to worry about this year. And
I mean, and to me, that's the biggest thing now of Will Levis can shut up a lot of people if he has the bounce back game. Now, then the question shifts to, because here's my thing. I do think he has talent. I don't know if he knows how to use it and therefore be consistent. That is my biggest concern question when it comes to Will Levis. I see the talent. I see the arm strength. It's just using it correctly.
Have you ever seen a play like that? I mean, didn't Carson Wentz do something
maybe
dumb when he was playing
but to me,
Commanders versus the Titans 2 years ago?
Yeah, maybe. I don't remember. But to me, that's hero ball. Like he's just not thinking. And that, so I was going to pull this up. So bear with me for a second. But in the quarterback tiers that that Mike Sando does for the Athletic, did you read through all that this year?
No.
Okay. So they do that, and then they have underneath kind of a explanation of why a guy is where he's at. So Will Levis is tied for 26 in tier 4. So this was he makes some impressive. This is from an offensive coordinator. He makes some impressive throws. I always wonder if he sees it and can react fast enough. Is his processing ability always going to be a little slow? That's all. Just some awareness. I don't know if he knows when he's hot and there are blitzers, that sort of thing. And like that quote stood out to me watching the game on Sunday. That I feel like he's got he's got the talent, but can he process everything? Can he make those decisions? Like his decision-making ability decision-making on Sunday was terrible.
Oh yeah.
And that so
But there were glimmers though when he hit Ridley on that pass. I mean, he stood in the pocket and fired it. I mean, he just did it. And
that's what I'm saying. Like,
I don't know where in his mind throughout his career, somebody said, when you're getting sacked, just do that. And I was like, and that right there is the instinctive, hero ball. I'm going to do that. And if you go back and look at that play again, now that even Mark Sanchez said, oh no, you think, why? How? Just take this. Sometimes you just take the sack. You just take it. You got to. And if you can't throw it away, nobody's going to be mad at you. If he takes a sack there, he's 10-yard loss. All right, we play the next down. But now all we're talking about, and rightfully so, is that nonsense, dumb play that he made.
Yep. 4073 says, Patrick Mahomes had arguably a more ridiculous-looking interception against the Commanders in 2021. It just didn't cost him the game. And see, I don't even remember that because, they probably because they won.
You're right. All right, coming up, I want your opinion on something else in NFL. It's a player, Chase, that I think we don't talk about enough, but I think his success is going to haunt the Titans for a long, long time.
Okay. All right. We'll do that coming up next. Chase and Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. to Big Joe. 1025.
Well
106 through the
done.
game.
Dr. Crane, was that your own?
That was mine.
Well
yes.
done. What is on Will Levis's playlist this week? 615-737-1025. You can join Jared Stillman, Chris Sanders, and Derek Mason at John Bon Jovi's this Sunday from 9:30 to 11:30 for the pregame show. They'll break down the Titans' Week 2 matchup against the Jets, give you the latest updates before the game. Pregame show is presented by Parman Tractor and Equipment, Sundeck Nashville, and award-winning Blue Note Juke Joint and Blue Note Crossroads Bourbon. So be sure to check that out. Okay, who are you going to bring up?
So it's we've talked about him before, but he just continues to impact games in such positive ways. And if you've not seen the show with Belichick and Manning, I forget what it's called. I texted you guys yesterday. I forget what it's called. It is the best football show around because they're talking just pure football. They're not trying to be funny. They're not trying to be game day and out funny each other. It's just good football talk that resonates with even the football fan who's casual about this. And they were talking about one guy that we know well. His name is Benny Jennings. We call him Juwan Jennings. I'm telling you, Chase, he was 7th round pick by the Niners. I remember we were screaming for him in the draft in 20, right? It was the COVID draft. Titans could have had him. John Robinson knew all about him.
Yeah.
Down the road, right? You got to know what's in your backyard. And this guy, he had some problems at Tennessee, matured, grew up, and now it's turned into and Belichick is raving over him about his blocking, about his stuff he does away from the ball, about his catching, about on third downs. They look to him. You need 5 yards, he'll get you 6. And I think it won't be talked about a lot, but it just bugs me that he was sitting there. He didn't go first round or second round, but the 7th round, and he could be a Titan. There's no reason he shouldn't be a Tennessee Titan.
Yeah, and I mean, look, I know you're going to always bring him up, and I agree. Like, I mean, even, when he was about to hit free agency, I was like, that'd be a guy to look at. Like, it'd be great to bring him home. But, I mean, I feel like watching last night, they're even planning to use him more in that offense.
Remember when he free agency and some shows in town were like, well, he's not a number one. He's not a number one.
Well, he doesn't. I mean, you don't need him to be a number one.
Thank you. You don't need him. How many number ones are truly out there?
This is what I love. And I have to tell this to people all the time. You do realize that you also need number 3s and number 4s.
Right.
Those guys are important.
Yes, you do.
You know, like talking Predators and talking to Barry Trotz yesterday, he was like, I mean, look, you gotta have your top guys that are going to score a lot of goals for you, but you need those gritty guys, on your 3rd and 4th line that are going to do that kind of work too.
When I think about the 17 Stanley Cup team, there are 2 players who stand out to me. 2.
Okay.
Zollnerchuk.
Yep. Here is he.
Right. And Fiddler.
Yeah. Vern.
I mean, those are guys.
And Vern was a deadline acquisition that I thought was a great deadline acquisition.
So they were basically 4th line guys.
Yeah.
And they were fantastic.
But they were important.
So you make a great point there about you need those 3s and 4s, and Jennings is that. And I watch him last night. I've watched him. I mean, he just is in the right place at the right time and has become a really good player. And so Belichick was pointing out his blocking ability. They were showing some plays where DBs kind of flinch a little bit when he's coming to block them. I mean, he doesn't care. And so you'd love that attitude and that toughness on your team. And I know we could sit here and play that game. They could have drafted it, but still, it's a guy in your backyard.
Look, I'll tell you what, Austin and Franklin said he's a dog. It hurts he's not a Titan. And a text that he sent us on August 29th, missing out on guys in your backyard like Trey Smith, Reed Blankenship, and Richie James, who have all been huge contributors to their teams, are my main issues with the Vrabel Robinson era. I agree. And I watched that Eagles-Packers game. Guess who was all over the field?
Yep.
Reed Blankenship. And he was he even a draft pick?
He was undrafted. Yep.
I mean, he's fantastic.
He is.
And so I agree. And I've always kind of felt, and I know that, there are local guys that have played for the Titans, but it's almost like it feels sometimes, but we can't be the homer and you draft a UT guy or a Vanderbilt guy or an MTSU. And I know they're probably not thinking that way, but it's just but I agree. Every player he named and Juwan Jennings could have very easily been a Titan.
That's why I didn't bring up Trey Smith. Don't get me started on Trey Smith.
Yeah. Trey Smith was
You know, and it was the blood issue with him, the blood thinners, and the problem that, that he had that's been corrected by medicine, and he's playing great. And a good friend of ours, you and me, talks to Trey Smith all the time.
Yeah.
And he's just developed into an amazing interior line. Who would you rather have, Skoronski or Trey Smith? How about that?
Man,
I'm taking Trey Smith.
right now. Trey Smith.
Yeah. He's a good.
That's a great question.
Look, he had problems starting out. Mahomes was on his ass. He admits that. He talked about that, but he's like, I had to get better or they're going to leave me behind. And he got better. Now Mahomes loves him. He's gotten better at run blocking. And because that offense, you got to do both. It's not 90-10. It's 50-50. So Trey Smith has done a fantastic, and that, sixth round. After the fifth round, I would draft you in the sixth round just for S and gigs, man. Have you on the team. See what you could do. After that, because you're not really counting on those guys. You'd love it when they do it. A Purdy, Juwan, Trey Smith, but hardly ever happens.
Adam in Portland says, Chase, please tell Joe how much I begged for Juwan Jennings when he was drafted. You made fun of me for it all the time, saying I was the biggest fan in the world. I probably did. I don't remember that. I knew all along what a straight up dog he was and knew that no one would outwork him. I mean, yeah, you're right.
And you're seeing it now. And he went to the farthest team away from Knoxville, and
you've hit a nerve with people, by the way. They could have had.
I'm mad.
If 4306, they could have had Trey Smith in the 6th round. Weston Hermitage. I went to high school with Jennings, and that dude has worked his butt off his whole life. He came back this summer and gave a lot back to the community. That dude is a grade A guy. Would love to have him come back home. So he went through a lot. Like, he had to grow up.
Oh,
he had to grow up.
Oh, Butch kicked him off in 17 for good reason.
Right. And I remember it was the Music City Bowl. He was a freshman, I think.
He was.
And I got in trouble because I interviewed him on the field, and then some guy came running over like, you can't do that on the field. I'm like, well, I just did.
Was it Butch?
No, it wasn't Butch. It was some lackey.
Okay. Yeah, it was 16.
Yeah, it was funny because I literally looked at the guy like, hey, you can't do on-field interviews. I go, well, I'm done. So
is that when you're
my
like,
bad.
You're like, I don't speak English, and
No.
run off?
I was just like, he's done. But
You just pull out an Italian accent. I don't know.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I just asked a question about the football.
What is it, Dr. Crane? What's the word in Italian for huh?
Eh?
So Chase, when he's yelling at you, you're like, eh, eh, eh.
Pull that.
Come se dice, huh?
Mike in Lebanon, this is why I wish Amy would have completely cleaned house with the firing of J-Rob. The Titans need new scouts, new people, new everything to run this, turn this organization around, but I do like Callahan. I think they pretty much have new people now.
Yeah, but you should know. Look, I know you look all. What is it that Hannibal Lecter said about Buffalo Bill? We covet what we see every day, right? I'm not in that same vein, but how do you not by osmosis? You're watching the news at night. You live in Nashville. You should know about, first and foremost, guys in this area that play football. And, and what was the impetus to say, we don't want Jennings, 7th round? I mean, come on, man. And it'll drive you crazy because you can't go back. You can't change it. But still, just thinking about it is like,
I know. But, I mean, look, Juwan Jennings or Nick Westbrook-Akina?
Yeah.
I mean, that would be
Juwan Jennings.
Yeah. I mean, I think right now I'd take Juwan Jennings. I mean, Tyler Boyd or Juwan Jennings?
Well, that's a tough one.
I mean,
you could move Boyd to a 2, but Jennings at a 3.
They didn't. I don't think they used Boyd enough on Sunday. He only had 3 catches?
That's correct.
And a vital first down to
He did.
Drive.
He did. I wish, and like maybe some of the media that'll go into the press conference tomorrow or whenever Levis is going to speak will ask this. Because like I don't want it to be asked in like a jerk way. Like I wouldn't be like, hey, what do you see? Like, I'm not trying to call him an idiot, but like, take me into your head. Like when you're because I've never played quarterback. I know you have like 2 seconds to make a decision.
Right.
So take me into your head of like, okay, here's Hopkins, here's Ridley, here's Boyd, here's Okonkwo, Pollard's come out this way. Like what is going through your mind
right.
of what you need to do?
You're that, yeah. I mean, but can you break it down?
And
I love to see him like on the big playbook on the playboard to see, with a marker showing where you could go.
Right.
I'm telling you, Chase, when you start talking about Levis press conference, I would love Will Levis forever if he walked out tomorrow and did a Deion Sanders, had the sunglasses and the hat, and when Rex Road starts asking the question,
I'm
he's
not taking questions from you.
but he does it to all of them. He's
Yeah.
like, Paul's like,
If he walked up with sunglasses and like a cigarette, and he's just like, you can tell he's been on a bender for like 3 days,
man, I got nothing against you.
and just be like, guys,
Yeah.
I don't have time for your bleep today. Didn't Vrabel basically say that one time? He said
Said a lot of things.
I think he did say that to Paul, maybe, like, I don't have time for your,
But if Will's like, look, I got nothing but love for you.
yeah.
But do the entire press conference like
that'd
that,
be
it would
awesome.
drive Titans fans insane, and we would love that for months.
He
We would play
basically
that.
looks like John Travolta in Pulp Fiction. Like if he's just cigarette.
He's like, any more questions? And
Yeah.
he's trying to, like, Travolta. Please do that tomorrow, Will Levis. We ask of you.
Oh, that would be good.
Oh, God.
615-737-1025. Our question of the day: what is on Will Levis's playlist this week? We'll get more of that. But coming up next, let's talk some college football. We haven't reacted to the college football weekend. We'll do that coming up next. Chasing Big Joe, presented by the Omni Nashville Hotel, 102.5, 106.3, The Game. Hour number 2, Jason Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game here on this Tuesday. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Talk a little college football now. We've spent a lot of time on the Titans. We'll continue to take our question of the day. What is on Will Levis's playlist this week after the loss? And a lot of good discussion there that we can get back into with him and his progression and all of that. And I'm sure that, it'll be discussed throughout the week.
Is Tim Hasselbeck on the midday show today?
Nick, is Tim Hasselbeck on today?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
good.
He is. It'll be
Hi, Max.
It'll be fascinating to talk to Tim today about all that.
Max Hers is here. He's
Love
good man.
Max. But Max has his own show, needs to beat it, which is our show now.
Actually, he doesn't have a show. I haven't given him one
we
yet.
love Max. We miss Max on My TV 30.
We do. But Max is doing big things. So
He is doing big
we'll
things.
talk to him about that soon. But
We can
continue.
talk to Tim about the bonehead play, how you don't even do that in high school. I mean, where does it start? At what point in the quarterback's development do you talk about pressure?
Yeah.
Do you talk about pressure and what to do? I'm not sure 99% of high school quarterbacks would have done that play.
No.
I mean, and so talking to Tim will be interesting to see, when do you talk about pressure? When do you
okay, so
put it in your mind? Like, it's always going to be there.
here's my question. So again, I think he's got talent. It's just, does he know how to harness it? And then it's the decision-making ability. I go back to when Sean McVay first got to the Rams. He had Jared Goff as his quarterback. And everybody was talking about this offense. It's the Shanahan, type offense, derivative of that. And he puts that in. And, Goff kind of struggled. And then, basically, in so many words, he said, we kind of simplified it for him. And then the report was, well, basically they dumbed it down.
Yeah, that's right.
Where it was, he could understand it better and then therefore process it quicker. My question is that what needs to happen with Levis? Like, because I watch him, even when he does have time, he's holding onto the ball too long and he's standing there and it's like, okay, is he trying to go through his reads? Or can you simplify some of the things that you want him to do? And it's like, okay, if you see this, you do this. If you see that, you do that. Like, I don't know. I'm obviously not in there and, with Brian Callahan, but maybe that's a part of the problem. Or, the offensive line continues to be a problem. Or at the end of the day, maybe he's just not that good.
But I exactly. All those, and that's a problem. There's all these different scenarios. You think about Will Levis, but look, he's been with Callahan since January. I guarantee they started going through that playbook in January, February, March, and April, and they got the free agents in here and everybody in June and July. And he's been a quarterback in the Big Ten. He's been a quarterback in the SEC. In 22 at Kentucky, he was behind a bad offensive line. He ran for his life, and that will teach you determination and being tough and confidence and standing in there. But it was all thrown away, literally and figuratively, on one play on Sunday. And so I don't know what the next step is. I do know he's got a 4-game limit. I'm telling you. At 0-4, they come back that Monday night game in Miami and they're 0-4, yank his ass. You got to.
I don't know if they will.
You can't keep gets 4
I don't know
games.
if they will.
2 on the road, 2 at home, 1 opening day on the road, 1 a primetime game in national TV, and you're still
And one of
doing
those
this?
losses would be to Malik Willis. Unless something changes drastically.
Right.
Maybe Tannehill.
Making it worse, man. You're right. Yeah, and so on and on. I think it's a 4. And we were kidding last week with the hot take. I said 5 games, but if you're 0-4, you've seen what you've seen, man. If it continues this bad play, you've seen what you've seen.
I'm waiting for the press conference in Green Bay. We have our quarterback. I've been just sitting in Mississippi. I want to play. 50-year-old Brett Favre comes out of retirement. Seems
Probably a lot better than that. Yeah.
he might be better than Malik
Do you?
Willis.
I mean, do you think? I think Tannehill's done.
I think, yeah.
I think he's done.
I think if he was going to sign with the Packers, he already would have.
Yeah. I mean, it's just not
54-year-old Brett Favre.
Yeah,
Yeah.
mind you.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I mean, look, it's concerning. And I'm not, as I said on the show yesterday, by the way, because we were like, Jared, was probably going to go, I'm done with him and all that stuff. Guess what? He did. And so we were right on that. I'm not ready to go there I'm not ready to say I'm done and we know. I think we are starting to get a good idea of what he is, but it's one game with a new head coach and a new offense. And if we're breaking everything down with a fine-tooth comb, I think we can sit here and say Brian Callahan's going to have better games as a head coach. So, I mean, because like when you fall off like they did in the second half, I not only put that on the players, I put that on the head coach.
Oh, absolutely. Here's Will Levis scouting report from Pro Football Network. Thank you. Pop-up ads. Dear
You're welcome.
Lord. Get rid of those. Levis would have been in draft had it been for his eating habits alone. He eats bananas with the peel on, and he puts mayonnaise in his coffee. What?
I don't.
What? Positives. Levis has very exciting. It's like Dr. Kramer is. Levis has a very exciting tools as a passer and a creator. The Kentucky quarterback stands 6'4", 230 with a strong, dense frame that can withstand contact. Gets the ball out, strong arm, and he's comfortable throwing from different arm angles. Exactly. Generating high velocity levels from various arm angles and on and on and on. Let's get to the negatives here of Will Levis here. This guy loves Will Levis. Very little negatives on this. Come on. His performance sometimes can be skittish, and there are glimpses of great poise in the pocket. Furthermore, his steadiness in the pocket in college condenses. He feels the pressure and feels to get out of it immediately. Well, that was kind of what happened the other day, right? With all that. His improvement, it says the main thing is his inconsistent field vision and anticipation. And I'm off this page because he's
I don't know what you got over there.
and they're getting me really mad. All right. But it's the same thing. I mean, it's the same concern they had coming out of college 2 years ago that they've got it now.
Yeah, and I mean they should have that concern. I mean, how can they not at this point?
I'm irritated. now I'm annoyed.
I mean, you've gotten him the offensive weapons that, and again, I think there's getting on the same page. DeAndre Hopkins is clearly not 100%. I mean, he had one catch. I mean, he probably shouldn't have even been out there. Treylon Burks, they're trying to do all this trick stuff with him. And
wait, I thought a former teammate had it on very good sources that Hopkins was going to be inactive on Sunday.
Well, one, he never played with him, and two, I like Taylor Lewan, and I'm glad that he's found his second career.
Right.
I do think they're entertaining. He and Will Compton, they get good interviews. Stop trying to be a reporter. You're not. Just be who you are. Do your thing.
You hurt me with something.
What did I hurt?
You corrected me on the air because you're right. He's not a former teammate.
Yeah,
And
sorry.
I'm sorry about that.
That's okay.
It's okay. Now I'm doubly annoyed because of
You correct me all the time.
because of pop-up ads. I
Because
want
you're
you
my elder. Can you correct me and I can't correct
No,
you? Is that
not
what
at
this is?
I do want to
Hey.
bring. So I know we'll continue.
Hey,
Hey.
easy, hey,
Yeah.
easy,
Yeah.
easy.
By the way, our intern, he's got a name Kyler, right?
Yes.
But we've given him a nickname. He's Mr.
Kyler's his real name. Yeah.
He would look great in the movie Fast Times at Ridgemont High. He's got beautiful 80s hair.
He
It's
does.
amazing.
This is the first time I've really looked at this. That is some good hair.
So his nickname is Mr. 80s.
I'm jealous because I can't have hair like that.
We all
That's
said
some
the same
hockey
thing.
hair. That's hockey hair.
That is hockey hair. We would call you Mr. Predator, but then you'd never get a date. So we'll just call you Mr. 80s. This is my friend, Mr. Predator. What? I'll pass. Thanks. Mr. 80s is what it is. But you do have, yes, great hockey hair.
That's a good one. We need to get him a helmet. Do the helmet.
Yeah, and be perfect. All right, continue. Our question of the day is
Our question of the day is: what is on Will Levis's playlist this week? You can take it anywhere you want to go. Wes in Nashville said Loser of the Year by Simple Plan, Bad Day by Daniel Powder, and Damn It by Blink-182. Those are some classics. That is for sure. So keep those coming in. 615-737-1025, our phone and text line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. Okay, I said college football. I promise we're doing that next.
Oh,
Then we'll
that's
get
right.
back into
Okay.
Will Levis here on the Chasing Big Joe Show, 102.5, 106.3 The Game.
I try so hard, can't seem to get away from misery. Man, I try so hard. Always
What's on Will Levis's playlist this week? 615-737-1025. Mike says Lose Yourself by Eminem. Alex from Nashville, another one for Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. We get it now. Pretty funny. Tim in Nashville, It Ain't My Fault, Silk the Shocker.
Oh, man.
That's good stuff. Keep them coming in. 615-737-1025. College football, fun weekend, fun week 2. Not for the Blue Raiders, but I did want to get your thoughts. Now seeing Ole Miss firsthand, do you believe they're legit?
If there's a better football team in the country, I want to see it. I'm telling you, man. They're massive, they're fast, they're quick, they're strong. That was one of the best football teams I've ever seen. I know they're playing middle and it's, apples and oranges. I get that. But the precision in which Jackson Dart drives that team down the field. And look, they go, their tempo is Tennessee. They're fast. And to watch their linemen, they average 6'6", 322 across the board. Watching them sprint down the field to line up the next play faster than the receivers, I'm thinking this is going to be bad.
I felt watching the game, I felt bad for the D-line for middle.
Couldn't stop them.
Because it was clear how outmatched they were.
I would love to see the Tennessee and Mississippi play in the playoffs. They don't play the regular season or in the SEC championship game because they're both similar in everything they do. But I'm going to tell you, if Lane Kiffin does not get this football team to at least the Final Four, he's never going to get a team there. This team is stacked and loaded. They're big. And the thing about Ole Miss is they go to Wake Forest, they come back and play Georgia Southern and Kentucky. That's their first 5 games. They have one road game. And then they hit the conference. And the toughest game is Georgia rolls in early November. And by the way, talking to a guy, we were leaving, they're already planning Ole Miss game day for Georgia in November.
I mean, right now, to me, there's no choice. There's not even another thought that it shouldn't be. So they're Georgia Southern this week, then Kentucky, at South Carolina, at LSU. I don't know what that's going to be. I don't know if that's going to be a tough one or not, but certain to pay attention to. Oklahoma, at Arkansas. I think Arkansas might be a little bit better than people thought.
Yes.
They should have won. They should have beaten Oklahoma State.
Yeah, taking the double overtime.
Then Georgia, at Florida, and then Mississippi State, the Egg Bowl. That should be on Thanksgiving, but it's not, and I won't go too far into that, but it should be, and that pisses me off.
Oh, yeah, you were off the day that we went on the rant because that's where we were like.
No, I went on a rant. We went on a rant too.
Were you here that day?
I think we've done this a few times. I think every time we notice it, it comes back up.
That's why I love Dabo, because they wanted Dabo to move the South Carolina game. He's like, you can go to hell. The game I'm looking forward to on Saturday, and thankfully it's an early start, Alabama, Wisconsin. Now, I know Alabama will probably win that game, but there's going to be 90,000 screaming Wisconsin fans on top of that football team.
Camp Randall is going to be right.
How Alabama plays, and we'll know by 2 o'clock the game's over what Alabama's made out of. I mean, and Alabama's a good football team. They're ranked 4th for a reason, but that's an environment. They're going to be waiting on the Crimson Tide to roll in there. Now, I'm not saying Wisconsin wins, but I think they play them very tough the entire game.
So here's my way too early thoughts on college football. Way too early, but just after 2 weeks, this is what I'm thinking. Georgia has picked up where Georgia left off. Georgia's Georgia. All right. Texas is for real after 2 weeks.
I am for real.
Ohio State's Ohio State. Alabama, I'm starting to believe a little bit more, but I was worried on Saturday. Like they let that one. I mean, they won.
That's a good South Florida team.
But South Florida gave them a game for a while, and then they finally pulled away 42-16. So I want to see this week at Wisconsin and kind of see what they can do. Ole Miss, I've been high on since the beginning, and I'm still there. Missouri, I'm not sure completely. I want to say they're probably not the 6th best team in the country, but that's where they are right now. So good for them.
Which poll's that?
AP.
Wow.
They're ranked ahead of Tennessee. Here's my thoughts on Tennessee. And I'm Vanderbilt, but I like it when Tennessee does well. It's good for what we do. I think people slept on this defense, and now people are starting to go, oh, because I think that defense is pretty good.
That defense is really good.
No, we know the offense. Like Nico's legit. And I again, show me against Alabama, show me against Georgia, show me, those teams. But like the fact that they jumped from 14th to 7th, and Notre Dame, I think, helped that and some other things.
Yeah.
But that shows you that the voters in the AP poll looked at them and go, oh, okay, yeah. Let's not sleep on the Vols anymore.
All right, your thoughts on this? Georgia at Kentucky. All right, Georgia obviously number 1. Kentucky's down. They got a bye week. Then they play Alabama after that. If you're Kirby Smart, you just try to get an early lead and rest many people as you can,
Yeah.
or you just go out there and just try to punch Kentucky in the face and
Well,
give a full 60 because you played Clemson. You guys played a full 60, but we played Tennessee Tech. You guys did not play full 60.
what's Kentucky going to give you? That's what I want to know, because Kentucky got embarrassed.
bourbon?
Kentucky, that's when they need it.
That's right.
Kentucky got embarrassed against South Carolina,
They did.
and like I walked out of that game going, just like I did with Boston College, Florida State.
You were there?
No, but I like walked away from that game and I go, is South Carolina that good? Is Kentucky that bad? Or was it just an off day? And I don't really know the answer.
And that's a problem. If you're Kentucky.
Yeah.
That's a real problem.
Like, I want to say Kentucky's not great after watching that game, but like, am I giving too much credit to South Carolina? That's what I don't know. I mean, so like the two misnomers or maybe misnomers right now are Arkansas and South Carolina, because watching them last week, you kind of sit there and go, okay, maybe we were wrong on them.
Yeah. I mean,
But
South
that's
Carolina,
just one game.
Struggled with Old Dominion the first game. And the fact that South Carolina is not consistently good year after year drives me insane, and they should be. But that is a big game. I mean, for Kentucky. I mean, look. I mean, are you settled with Stoops up there when he goes 7-5? Is that your ceiling? I mean, don't you want to compete? I don't know. I don't know, and I'm with you, man. There's a lot of questions that need to be answered, and
I would also, as we kind of go through the rankings, would like to call the fraud hotline. The
Yes.
fraud alert. One James Franklin and Pennsylvania State University. They are frauds, and they are going to get exposed.
you would not say that to his face.
You don't know that.
Who does Penn State play on Saturday?
Kent State.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But they won against Bowling Green 34-27, but they
That was
almost
a tough
didn't.
game. Yep. You're
Yeah.
right.
And look, I love it. Like, my favorite thing is when you have a team that you pay to come in and beat, and they either give you a game or they beat you. Like Northern Illinois,
Love
good
it.
for you. And you know what I love? I made a mental note to bring this up whenever we talked about this game. Here was my favorite part of watching that game. And it wasn't that Notre Dame lost the game. It was watching Thomas Hammock, the head coach, on the sideline. That dude looked like a football coach. He didn't get too high, didn't get too low,
Yeah.
coaching up his guys. Let's finish the game. And it was like, that's what I love to see. None of these politicians like we have now in all these programs, because that's how they have to be. That's how the game has dictated it and what they have to do.
All right.
I watched that guy and I'm like, that's a ball coach.
It's great. His speech in the locker room after the game was fantastic. By the way, if you're Kent State, you get Tennessee this week and Penn State next week. So it'd be interesting to talk to the Kent State head coach and say, all right, compare the two. Who's more deserving of a top 10, Tennessee
Yeah.
or Penn State?
Right.
Because if you're Tennessee, you got Kent State rolling in. Yeah, you played great NC State. Now, what's your approach now? Because next week or in 2
So
weeks,
Penn State's off. Okay.
yeah, you get Oklahoma. What do you do? I mean, how do you approach this if you're Heupel? And if I'm Heupel, I continue to put my guys out there and let them go. I mean, that's the best experience, is getting experience. So I'd let those guys go out there and run them up, because Tennessee, it's that juggernaut. You can't lose to Oklahoma. I mean,
Yeah.
everything you've gotten is gone after that if you lose.
Tell you what. So Missouri, going back to them for a second, they got Boston College this week. I'm really curious about that one. That's your first test, because I'm drinking the Bill O'Brien Kool-Aid right now
Oh, I wouldn't do that.
with Boston College.
I wouldn't do that yet. I would just like maybe go to lunch with him.
Yeah, well, that's fine. But
Chase has a purifier on. It's okay.
I don't know, man. I don't trust Bill O'Brien.
and I have not been the biggest Bill O'Brien
No,
fan.
you have not.
But I'm liking what I see out of BC.
Well, that's an early test with 11:45 game on Saturday. I want to see Missouri. I mean, listen, Missouri. The history of Missouri football is okay, but their ranking is deserved what they did last year. And again, so many guys hit the portal and move around and everything. Is Missouri that good?
I don't know.
Well, is he a test on
What's Oregon?
7th, 8th?
No, they're 9th. But what do
Ninth.
you? I mean, like when they barely beat Boise.
Hey, okay, here, all right. I want real quick. I want to give me 30 seconds. We got to stop with the barely beats of the G5 teams. There's a lot of good players on those. Northern Illinois was example.
Yeah.
So Boise State's a good football team.
Sure, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So Oregon beat a good football team. So don't take that away from that. It's just that, well, they barely beat this team.
Well,
that team.
I don't mean it in a negative way.
I totally understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
But so many guys have transferred around
Yeah.
that I think Boise State could probably beat half of the
Here's the
Power
thing.
4 teams.
This is what we don't talk about enough. But like with the way the rules are now, the transfer portal, to me, like it's the wild, wild west, and everybody's saying that you're like how stressful it is. But like programs like a Boise, MTSU could fall into this. You can capitalize on that. You just have to understand how to play the game.
You're right.
And the game is you get a guy that, was told, yeah, come to Alabama, you're going to play, and then rides the pine for a year and gets pissed off and leaves. You go get that guy, understanding that you're probably only going to have him for a year or two, and then he's going to transfer back to a Power 5.
This came out. FSU football is reportedly spending outrageous amounts of money. Bruce Feldman, the Athletic, says that Seminoles are paying current members of the football team around $12 million, with nearly $2 million going to the front 4 linemen. Again, I it's not the player's fault, right?
Yeah.
But what's your motivation?
Right.
I mean, at some point, you hope pride kicks in and plays. But if you're paying me $2 million and I go out there and I play well and my team loses, oh, well, I'm getting my money. And I don't like that. And I'm hoping – I'm not saying these guys are like that. But, I mean, what's your motive? It's hard to be dirty when you're sleeping on silk sheets.
That's a good one.
Remember that. Mark it down, Dr. Crane.
That's a good
I want
one.
you to make it a T-shirt.
615-737-1025. We'll get back to our question of the day. What is on Will Levis's playlist this week? We've had some really good answers. We'll do that next here on the Chase and Big Joe show. Also, don't forget, tune in to 94.9 The Fan. Today is Nashville Sounds take on the Memphis Redbirds. Pregame at 6:20, first pitch at 6:35. Coverage is also available on the Game Nashville app and on the GameNashville.com. Sounds Baseball is presented by Twin Peaks, Family Leisure, 5 Points Roofing, and Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning. what's on Will Levis's playlist?
We can shut it down now.
She's the someone famous that Mike Fisher's married to.
Dr. Crane, kudos to you on that,
Oh,
man.
that's good.
You can't top that one.
Our question of the day, what is on Will Levis's playlist this week? You can text in 615-737-1025. We'll get back to that here in a few minutes. But there's a cool event coming to our city this weekend. The Big Machine Music City Grand Prix will be out at the Nashville Super Speedway this year. And we say hello to Matt Grieche. He's the VP and General Manager out at Nashville Super Speedway. Matt, what's up, my friend? How are you?
Good morning. We are doing great here. I appreciate you having me today.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know this, obviously you guys had a great weekend with the Ally 400 and NASCAR and all of that, but now you get to do it again with the IndyCar folks and the Big Machine Music City Grand Prix. It's been a while since IndyCar has raced out at the Nashville Super Speedway, so I know that you all have to be excited about that.
Yeah, we really are. They haven't visited us since 2008 here at Nashville Super Speedway. And if you have not seen a IndyCar race or a race car, they're impressive machines. They're going to be over 200 miles per hour on our 1.3 mile concrete surface this weekend, and they're going to culminate their season here the championship race on Sunday.
Yeah, and so Alex Palou leading the way in the standings, and going to be cool to see a champion crown. But what were some things that fans can expect? Because the cool thing about the Big Machine Music City Grand Prix, it's more than a race. There's a lot of entertainment involved as well.
It really is. Big Machine Music City Grand Prix is really a focus on music, entertainment, and racing, and it really kicks off on Friday with Freedom Friday, and it's going to be downtown on Broadway. You're going to see IndyCar Series pit stop competition kicking off at 5 o'clock, burnouts on Broadway, and then a full music schedule starting at 7 o'clock, headlined by Brantley Gilbert with his world's largest album release party at 9:30. It's all a free event on Broadway, all the way from Riverfront to 5th, and it's going to be a great kickoff to the weekend before they come out to Lebanon, Tennessee, and join us at Nashville Super Speedway on Saturday and Sunday.
Matt, how much fun has this been since this was announced, the switch of bringing it from downtown out to the Speedway? Because, I remember when the Speedway had this race, it was unique. It's fun. It's so cool seeing those cars on that track. What's it been like for you and your staff getting ready for this?
It's been exciting. Scott Borchetta and the Big Machine team is definitely focused on a great family-friendly entertainment weekend, and jumping on board with him and seeing his vision for what IndyCar is and his passion for racing, but obviously his background in music, and bringing those two entertainment aspects together. It's been really exciting, but it has been a short runway. We announced this at the end of February that it was going to move out to Nashville Super Speedway with us here in Lebanon, and we've been all on board. We're excited to host NASCAR for the triple header weekend, and then we get to kick it off this weekend for the NTT IndyCar Series Championship race. And, it's just a testament to the team here and what Middle Tennessee is with motorsports, and how exciting it is to host two marquee races here at Nashville Super Speedway.
Absolutely. And, Matt, one thing I love about these IndyCar guys, much like the NASCAR guys, the accessibility, man. They love to talk. Sometimes you can't get them to shut up. They love talking about racing and everything. It's so cool when they are invested as well as everybody else is in races, and the IndyCar guys do a great job of that.
They really do. The access with the IndyCar series and their drivers, and they just love to see the fans, sign autographs for kids. At 9:30 on Sunday, there's going to be an autograph session in the fan zone here at Nashville Super Speedway. That really kicks us off on the championship day on Sunday. But no, they understand what the fans mean to the sport. They're super engaging, excited to have people here, and they're a great group to host here.
And also, it can't hurt having the hometown boy and Joseph Newgarden and to be there as well.
Yep, right up the road in Hendersonville, and hometown hero here, and he won the Indy 500 this year, two-time defending champion there, and I think he's great on oval, so it should be an exciting race for us come Sunday.
NASCAR also released their schedule for next year, so the Ally 400 weekend, early June this time, end of May, early June, June 1st will be when the Cup race is. That's got to be exciting as well.
Yeah, it is. That's we're really excited about that date and how that's going to line up for our NASCAR triple header weekend again in 2025. And yeah, it'll be our 5th annual NASCAR weekend. And if it's anything like it was the finish here with 5 overtime finishes, it's going to be exciting, and you're going to want to get your ticket soon.
Yeah, I got to tell you, Joe Williams and I, we kept looking at each other in the booth, going, are we going to have the voice for this? I mean, I was getting a little scratchy there watching all those overtimes.
It was. It ended up being a nighttime finish with, I think, maybe an extra hour of racing. But I think the fans got their money's worth that evening. Great to see what that race was, and I think that's a testament to what NASCAR has done with the package and the team here to execute a great weekend and great on track action.
You've been around this sport a long time, but Joey Logano wins at Atlanta, so that means he goes to the next round. Do you find yourself kind of pulling for your race winner? He won the Ally 400, so do you kind of look at Joey and go, it'd be kind of cool if he won the championship since he won here this year?
It would be. I think we've had that's the way it's fallen a couple times. I think Kyle Larson won here and then won the championship. Same with Chase Elliott and did that. So I think if you want to win the championship, you need to win the NASCAR Cup Series race at Nashville Superspeedway.
No doubt. Well, it's going to be a fun weekend. I hate that I'm going to miss it because of some hockey stuff, but I know that it's going to be great at the Nashville Superspeedway. Always a pleasure to have you on and talk to you, and have fun this weekend.
We appreciate it. Tickets still available. Come visit us at NashvilleSuperspeedway.com. Get them this weekend. Access is family friendly, starts at $50. Can't wait to welcome everybody here.
No doubt. Matt, have a good one, man.
Thanks a lot. You too.
Matt Gricci joining us here on the program, the vice president and general manager at Nashville Superspeedway. And again, NashvilleSuperspeedway.com is where you can get tickets, or MusicCityGP.com as well. And check it out this weekend. Going to be a lot of fun.
Absolutely. It's exciting, man. Just anytime that I love going out there. I love the track. I love the people. I think it's great, and I hope it's a big crowd this weekend.
Yeah, for sure. 615-737-1025. Our question of the day: what is on Will Levis's playlist this week? D from Hoptown, hurt by either Nine Inch Nails or Johnny Cash, either version.
That Johnny Cash song is so good.
That's a good one. Josh, something bad about to happen by is that Miranda Lambert and Carrie Underwood? Was that you? Is that Adam? Is that what you said?
He's got one, is what he's saying.
Oh, he's got one.
Don't be surprised. I'll return with it.
Okay. All right. We will do that coming up next. Plus, we'll tell you what day it is and celebrity birthdays. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game.
Oh, baby, baby. Oops, I did it again. I played with your heart. Got lost in the game.
This one's a good one. A vote from Adam Vingan. What's on Will Levis's playlist this week?
This song is definitely on his playlist.
Oh, yeah. No, Will, you are not that innocent.
He's not. He needs to grow up.
Chasing Big Joe, 1025, 1063 The Game. These have been great on our text line. Don't Stop Believing by Journey. You just
Perfect.
keep. Do you remember what was that movie? Ah, man, I can't remember it. It's a movie about there's a scene where the guy every morning goes in front of the mirror and basically talks himself up and tells himself like how great he is.
That was Stuart Smalley on SNL. He would do it in front of the mirror.
Yeah, no, I know, but
Smart
there was
enough and
there
good
was
enough.
there was a movie where it was in there. I feel like that's been Will Levis every day. Like he just looks at himself in the mirror and goes, "You got this, man. He's just one day at a time,
I
one
surely hope not.
minute by minute." Let's see. Numb by Linkin Park got a vote. OU 812 by Van Halen.
Oh man.
But yeah, 615-737-1025. Somebody did say earlier we played Jesus Take the Wheel. Levis mid-throw, Jesus Take the Wheel by Carrie Underwood when he just tossed it up there. And Jesus took the pick. That's what happened. Took it to the house.
Oh man.
Oh. Josh from Columbia, Levis in the Surrender Cobra looks like he just slid into his finish pose after a dance off in a 1970s club against Ben Stiller on cocaine.
Good Lord.
Damn.
I've watched that play 50 times and I'm still like, what are you doing? There is no way that ball is going to go anywhere except in the hands of a Chicago Bear defender.
I'm disappointed that I didn't see this sooner because we would have played it because it's so true. Faith by George Michael.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one.
That's a good one. Gotta have faith.
You guys are again. Every time we throw these questions out, you guys are fantastic at the responses. I've been rolling in since like 9:03.
Oh, it's been awesome.
keep 'em
Fell
rolling.
on Black Days by Soundgarden. It's a good one. Just
Hair
coming
Metal
in by
Henry.
Hair Metal Henry. Thank you, Hair Metal
Me
Henry.
just waking up. Speaking of being drunk, that guy. What time is it? Is it 4 in the afternoon?
All right, with that, let's get to what day is it and celebrity birthdays.
All right, gentlemen. First on the list we have here, again, I don't make these days. Blame it on a Large Hadron Collider Day.
Okay.
So basically, if you lose something, it goes into this black hole of a nuclear collider.
Well, you got Mr. 80s laughing behind you back there, so he liked it.
Okay. Well, glad
All right.
somebody got a chuckle out of it. International Creepy Boston Dynamics Robotic Horse Day.
What?
That's just a long.
You made that up.
It's right here. I promise you.
Okay.
We should do one of these where he reads them and it's like, did he make them up or are they real? And we have to guess.
This is real. It
Like,
is-
remember that game we used to do? Like, you'd read Les Miles quotes and
Yep.
we'd have to say if yes or no.
That's right. You're so crazy. Yep.
Well, that is a day today.
All right.
International Makeup Day. So,
Every day, baby.
yeah, there you go. National Ants on a Log Day.
I don't like
There's a-
ants on a log.
It's
There's-
a food reference.
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's raisins on top of peanut butter inside of celery.
I was lost.
It's celery cut in half
okay.
with peanut butter filled in the middle,
Okay.
and then you have ants as in like raisins on top.
All right. I'm just trying to formulate in my mind how that became together as
Like-
ants on a log.
Well, because half of it looks like an actual tree log, the celery,
Okay.
and then the peanut butter. Never mind. National Hot Dog Day is next.
Love
So-
hot dogs, which is it is a sandwich.
All right, next on the list, National Port Wine Day.
Oh,
Yep. But I feel like wine's every week for us. I don't know why, but
and we don't drink wine, but you do, don't you?
from time to time,
Give me
celebratory.
another vino.
Dip it in some bread. That's what I'm talking about. Or marinate it with sausage.
Okay.
Delicious. There you go. Let's see. National Swap Ideas Day. So swap some ideas. So Be It Day. So I guess you're sewing. It says So Be It.
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah, very creative.
Mhm.
TV Dinner Day. How about that?
Grew up on TV dinners.
Yeah. Did you have the TV trays? They like open up, you set them out in front.
Yeah. My
Yeah.
grandmother's like, it's ready. Thanks, Grandma. I didn't know that peas were all. I never, when I was able to make it my own, I didn't know that you could actually heat that stuff up. So thanks, Grandma.
Use them as ice packs.
She would just go eat it. And don't bother me. Wheel of Fortune's on.
Hey, that's a great show. But that's it. All
Okay.
on celebrity birthdays.
All right. Time for celebrity birthdays. Got to get them one in too. First birthday up today. Singer Jose Feliciano. How old is he? One hit wonder. I'm kidding. He's not.
I don't even know who that is.
Feliz Navidad. Da, 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 da.
Oh.
Feliz Navidad.
67.
74.
79. Guitar player Joe Perry from Aerosmith.
74.
71.
74 exactly.
I know my Aerosmith.
Chase knows his defunct bands. Who else here? Director Chris Columbus. He did Home Alone and a bunch of other movies, Adventures in Babysitting. He didn't. This Chris Columbus did not discover America.
JoJo. 64.
70.
66. Dr. Crane's chuckling on the chuckle train. Actor Colin
Chuckles.
Colin Chuckles.
Shut it, Chuckles.
Colin Firth.
48.
53.
64.
Uh-huh.
I got a great joke, but I can't tell it on air. Dadgummit. Actor Ryan Philippe. Was it Felipe?
Felipe.
Felipe, married to a Nashville girl. Used to be married to a Nashville girl.
50.
44.
Boss Man's on a tear. 5-0. And Felipe is 50. And he can kick and he can stretch. He's 50. Actress Amy Irving used to be married to Steven Spielberg. Made a fortune when she divorced him.
62.
68.
71. Let's keep going down here.
Yeah.
Oh, rapper Big Daddy Kane.
41.
44.
56. Director Guy Ritchie.
Used to be married to Madonna, right?
Correct.
Or still is. 70.
Have y'all seen Guy Ritchie, The Covenant on Prime?
I have not.
Best movie on planet Earth.
Oh.
You got to see it. Jake Gyllenhaal. You got to see
Okay.
it. I believe this guy is 70.
56.
I said 70.
Oh,
Too
I'm
late.
sorry.
That's okay.
Bass player Mikey Way of My Chemical Romance.
48.
44.
44 exactly. Dr. Crane's on the board. 5-2 Chase. Guitar player Matthew Followill of Kings of Leon, who are from
Nashville.
Mount Juliet, correct? Kings of Leon, Matthew Followill.
44.
48.
40. Singer Ashley Monroe of the Pistol Annies.
42.
47.
38. All right, we got 4 left. Chase is up 5-2. Now, one of you two got to get this one. Gary Danielson, who drove SEC fans crazy for the last 15 years.
75.
82.
73. Chase up 6-2. The big unit, Randy Johnson.
62.
57.
61. Chase up 7-2. Chase is in striking distance of tying you at 11. 2 more. NBA player Ben Wallace.
39.
44.
50.
Oh.
Final one, and Chase, you better get this one or your best friend's going to disown you. Joey Votto.
Huh. Joseph Daniel Votto is 41.
40.
Chase gets to keep his best friend for another day. He's 41. Chaser, 9-2.
Thank you.
Well done. You got
Or 9 to 11 usually.
well done on that one, pal. Well done. Great
Thank you.
response.
Thank you very much. That will do it
Well
for
done.
our show today.
Yeah, it will. Also, today's World Suicide Prevention Day, and I had Dr. Crane skip over it in the days of the week just to let you know that it's an important message that Chase and I and Dr. Crane too. This show gets out every day to our guys that are struggling. we love you. And on our cell phone, you can dial 988. I know a lot of men don't want to talk about their problems, but I'm telling you, once you open up, it's a whole new world of goodness inside of you. Heck, I went to a therapist. It did wonders for me. Go talk to somebody. If you're struggling, you need to talk to somebody. Don't be a statistic. We need you here. As we say all the time, God has you on this earth for a specific purpose. It's your journey. And understand that your journey is beautiful. And only you can complete your journey. And if something happened to you, as we say all the time, you'll be tremendously missed. So we want you to know that you are tremendously loved, not only today on World Suicide Prevention Day, but every day. If you need us, we're always here for you. Remember that.
Amen to that. And, you know, while we talk to a lot of guys out there, girls, we're there for you too.
Yep.
So
Amen.
never forget that. That is going to do it for us. Willie and D-Mace with Adam Vingan coming up next. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game.